And what about credit?
Credit, again, the banks, everyone's always focused on like my credit score, which is, it's good. It's good to know that. You definitely should be following your credit and monitoring your credit. Banks like to see a credit score of over 680. It's not a hard rule, but that's the number that they kind of prefer. To get around that, there are people who have slightly lower that have gotten the approval, and that's because the banks are looking at the actual history. How many loans, lines of credits, credit cards do you have since you started borrowing money? The banks like to see you have at least 2 credit cards with a limit of at least 2,000 each. Let's say what the banks are really essentially looking for is, since you started borrowing money, do you make your payments on time? Whether it's a minimum payment, pay it off in full, the bank will never know 3 months ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, how much whether you made a minimum payment or a full payment. Okay. They only know you made your payment on time.
So no late payment being reported by the lender, I guess.
Yeah, pay your expense. Anytime you borrow money, make the payment by the due date, and your credit will be phenomenal.
How can people monitor their own credit?
There's a lot of tools. So some of the banks offer their own little free credit report review. There's Credit Karma, a lot of free online apps when it comes to reviewing credit. So it's something everyone should be monitoring, taking a look at on a regular basis. So you can kind of see where your score is going, which is fun. And also, if you see something went wrong, you can correct it right away.
Right.
The one thing is keep in mind, Alex, is cell phone bills.
Right.
Believe it or not, cell phone bills like internet, Rogers, cable, Rogers, TELUS, and Bell, they're on your credit report. So you may think you're not really borrowing money, but those providers are on your credit report. So if you miss a cell phone payment, you don't want to be doing that because it'll affect your credit.
No, 100%. What is this tip here? If you're getting a new credit card, do not cancel the current credit card you have. Instead, use it. What is this tip about?
Oh, this is a fantastic tip. Credit's all about history, Alex. But with history, it's time. Once the time's gone by, there's nothing we could do to go back. So, for example, let's just say, you got a credit card 2 years ago. You got one of those air mile cards, and then now you want to change it to a cashback card. Okay. The trick is, don't cancel that air miles card. Put it aside. You can still apply for that cashback card, and you'll get approved for it. Now in your credit report, you have 2 credit cards. You would most likely use that cashback card now that you're switching, right, Alex?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm getting it, for the cash back, right?
So the trick is, now, because you're not using that other credit card, 5 years from now, you use that credit card once a year, just kind of like, it's just more, you make sure it's active, right? Okay. 5 years from now, this credit card you got today, 2 years ago, you'd have had 7 years of never missing a payment.
Yeah, makes sense. Wow.
Nobody would have ever known that you never even used it. This is the fact that it's on history. You got it, and you've been using it. If you canceled it today, well, you're going to lose 5 years worth of history on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. Okay, so you're talking about 680 credit score. That's it's a good credit score. But what about somebody, maybe they've been, I don't know, they missed some payments. Their credit score is in the 5s. How can they get up there?
Well, let's make an appointment. I'll be able to coach you to help you build your credit score quickly. It doesn't take much to build your credit. It's all based on time. So the sooner you begin, the sooner your credit scores will be going up.